Net Control. Check in N4NT, Adam in Bristol, Tennessee.
This is W7AZC with Teapot Stick right net, and we're down to less than 10 minutes. 10 minutes, looking for those early check-ins.
N4MT.
This is W7AZC with Teapot Tech Friday Net. We are less than 5 minutes before the net starts, and I am looking for early check-ins. Please come now with your early check-in. And don't forget, we are using NetLogger tonight. You can check out NetLogger. Just look for Teapot's Tech Friday Net. If you don't have NetLogger, you can download for free at netlogger.org.
W7AZC, KD9JSX. Hey, I'm just checking in and out. I'll be listening as long as I can here, but I'm on my way home, and do not delay that. Back to you.
All right, Tony, I'll have you checked in and unavailable, but you're more than welcome to jump in if you want to say some words later on. And I believe Al, KD2PNR tried to jump in there too, so Al, we got you on the list. Any other check-ins? This is W7AZC, and I am looking for last-minute early check-ins. Last-minute early check-ins. We have less than a minute before the net starts. This is Teapot's Tech Friday Net. It happens every Friday. We start early check-ins at 0:30 UTC, and that starts at 0100. So at this time, last chance to be an early check-in.
Good evening. The time is 8 p.m.
Good evening, Teapot's Tech Friday net. Well, you start this net every Friday night on All-Star, 506-450 and 506-451. Before we get started, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. K4PU to do the honors.
It would help if I was paying attention to what's going on. Good evening, everyone on the net. Tonight's pledge is dedicated. Well, I'm doing this a little different. Let me tell you how I normally do these things. When Sean first asked me to do the pledge, what I try to do is find somebody worthy of dedicating the pledge to. And once I find that individual, then I go out and do a little research and, cut and paste from this source and then cut and paste from that source and develop a little script that hopefully keeps it under 2 minutes and keeps you guys informed. Tonight I'm going to deviate from that just a little bit. I'm going to do a little ad-libbing because this guy is so interesting. Tonight's pledge is dedicated to Charles Henry Coolidge. Charles Henry Coolidge is the oldest living Medal of Honor recipient. He is 99 years old. He was awarded the Medal of Honor from World War II. And he still goes to work in his family-owned business that his father started 100 years ago, 1 year before he was born. His son and grandson now run the business, but he's there every day. He was 99 years old, lives in Chattanooga, very interesting guy. He was awarded the Medal of Honor for heroism in France during World War II. He was drafted into the United States Army on June the 16th, 1942. He received his basic training at Fort McClellan in Alabama. He then went on to Camp Butner, North Carolina, and Camp Edwards in Massachusetts, and finally went on to Algeria to participate in the North Africa campaign. While he was serving as a machine gun leader and technical sergeant, he was awarded the Silver Star, then the Bronze Star, then 2 Purple Hearts, the Conscript Badge, and on October the 24th of 1944, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. He resides near Chattanooga, Tennessee, where a highway and a park have been named for him. He still goes to work every day. So it is to Charles Henry Coolidge that we dedicate tonight's pledge. Would you please stand? You all know the drill by now, so I'm not going to insult your intelligence with it. We'll just do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May God bless Mr. Coolidge, and we hope he lives another 99 years. And may God bless all Medal of Honor recipients and the United States of America. Back to you, Sean, W7AZC from K4PU with an achy, breaky heart.
K4PU, W7AZC, thank you very much. As always, Mr. Dennis, we do appreciate it. And just a reminder, this net and this room is brought to you by Friends Amateur Radio Group. You can check them out at farg.club. You do not have to be a member of Friends Amateur Radio Group to join this net. This net is open to any licensed amateur radio operator. Let me take a break. This is a directive net. All communications will come through net control. I ask that you do not key or, I just got lost. Please do not key between stations as we progress down the list. I will ask for additional check-ins several times throughout the net. Let's see. Mr. Dennis, I know you have a QST about the Crystal Radio contest, so could you tell us all about that?
Sir, don't forget the Crystal Radio contest. It ends December the 31st. It can be a Crystal Radio. It can be a razor blade radio. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. It's very interesting how the razor blade radio came about, also in World War II. And you can build one of those as well. It cannot be from a kit. However, you can buy a kit if that's the only way you can get the components. If you can't, gather the components individually from various sources, or it's just more convenient to buy a kit, that's fine, as long as you take those components and put it in your own configuration. And it needs to be able to work, and what you need to do is send us a photograph You can send it to me, you can send it to Sean, you can send it to Matt. Anybody that's in the FARG hierarchy. Well, I'm not in the hierarchy, but anybody that's affiliated with FARG. Photograph of all the sides, the top and bottom of the unit, and a short video with audio that shows that it actually works. It can be in any design you want. First place is lifetime membership in FARG. Second place is an all-star unit with monitor, which I have now pleased to announce I've finally perfected the audio monitor. Al, KD2PNR will be happy to hear that. And third place is a jumbo spot. So if you're interested in getting on it, get on it, because it's going to be December the 31st before you know it. Back to you, Sean. W7AZC, K4PU.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dennis, and definitely get on that project. It's an easy one. Easiest way to look up the razor blade one is look up Foxhole Radio, and you get all the information there. And there's some pretty neat designs out there, so check that out. Let me read our current list. Our current list is K4PU, and then we got Bill, WA4DDH, but he's going to be in and out. So Gary, give him a good 20-second pause there. If he does not key in, go ahead and take it, Mr. N7D&D. Gary, you'll pass it over to Adam, N4NT. And let's give a little bit of pause for KD9JSX. He's trying to get home, but he's kind of unavailable, but we'll give him a little pause, see if he wants to jump in there. Otherwise, it goes to Al, KD2PNR. Any additional check-ins that would like to join us, please come now. All right, nothing heard. So we'll start off our topic for the night. And the reason I brought up this topic is because I'm working on a project. If you noticed, if you are using Supermon to see who's keying up and stuff, you'll see that Dennis is coming through node number 505422. This is the Georgia All-Star Hub. It is currently sitting in Yuma, Arizona, as I'm putting it together and getting all the things set right. That way when it gets back to Georgia, there only need to be a few changes. Be somewhat plug and play. Not quite, but somewhat. And we got one more QST before we get this net really going. N4NT, you want to mention the Kids Connection Net. Take it away, sir.
Okay, yeah, I'll be glad to. Thanks for the opportunity to do that. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time in QSO America, the Wires X version, room 43815, we're going to have another Kids Connection Net, and we have a fella, and I'm trying to remember his call sign, out of West Virginia. His little girl Lydia is going to third party as the net controller. He's going to help her out, but they have really been a big asset, and been pushing for us to have more and more of these nets, and willing to jump in and do that. So they're going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to try my best. I've got to work, but I'm going to try my best to get off work on time and be in there as well. But we encourage everybody to check in, not just kiddos, but if you have a kid you can third party in, or if you know a licensed amateur that's a young person, have them come our way too. But we want everybody to check in and show some support for them, and give little Lydia some people to put on her list there. So that's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in the Wires X QSO America. Back to net, N4NT.
Alright, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And C765, we might try to make that if I can get my one hotspot to work right. Alright, sounds good. And so on with our topic. Our topic tonight is connecting more than one all-star node to the same internet connection. connection. Depending on how you want to do it, depends on how easy it is. Let me take a quick break. So as you guys know, I run both 450, 451, and then my personal node 502, 743, all on the same network. What you do have to do is you go to your All-Star link, go to the allstarlink.org page, log in, and you'll have to create a server for your additional node. That node has to have a different port number. So what stock is 4569. 4569 is what it normally is. So you would just add another create another server, and make it 4570 or 4572, whatever you would like to do. And then when you set up your All-Star node, you will tell it to go to that port, and now you'll have two working All-Star nodes on the same network. But let me reset.
N4NT.
If you want to be able to have someone connect to you, you'll have to go to your router, open up that IP address and open that port. It's a UDP. So in this case, you would open up 4570, and now people can connect to that node. At that point, you're pretty much set up. That's the easiest setup you can do to run multiple nodes at the same location, but you won't be able to connect to each other. Each node cannot communicate with each other. So what you actually have to do is go into your RPT file, and Adam's writing this all down. I will send a screenshot and put it on the Facebook page, but you'll go all the way down to the very bottom of your RPT conf, and you'll have to add in a line. Basically what you're going to do is tell that node, hey, this is where you find the other node. You'll have to go to your other node, same thing, go into RPT, go all the way down the bottom, and you're going to have to tell it that the other node exists, because they're on the same, basically the same IP address, but you just have to tell them what port they're running off of. If everything's running good, then you can connect to each other. And now we're back to songs. There we go. Adam's recording everything. We're good. And let me take one little break. So that now they can talk to each other. If you want to connect to them, people can connect to you. You go off and go different places with them and everything else like that. I will post the link to the string that you have to put down in the RPT conf. Give me a couple days on that, because I'm tied up with a whole bunch of other stuff, and I don't want to get myself confused. Like I said, working on this Georgia All-Star hub. We'll probably have a week. I can get Superman up and running on it, and then it will get mailed off to Mr. K4PU. We'll do a little bit of changes once he gets it plugged in, and that hub should be up and running. Again, the number will be 505-422, and that'll be set up for Georgia All-Star. That's what I have. If you guys have any questions or any other topics, feel free. Like I said, I will put that one string down there and some general information, but once you remember what you need to do, it's not too bad. One more time for additional check-ins before we send it on down the list. Additional check-ins, please come now. Nothing heard. Again, the list is K4PU. Then it goes to Bill, if he's there, WA4DDH. Give it about 20 seconds. If he don't answer, go ahead and take it N7D&D. N7D&D, please pass it to N4NT. N4NT, you'll pass it to KD2PNR. But let's give about a 10-second break in case Tony, KD9JSX, wants to jump in there. Other than that, Al, you are the tail gunner for now. So K4PU, take it away, sir.
Thank you, Sean. This is K4PU in Jasper, Georgia. Boy, I got a few things to cover, so I'll go fast. First of all, it shows you how dumb I am. It never occurred to me that you, if you had a hub and an all-star node on the same internet, that they couldn't talk to each other, but it makes sense because they have the same IP address. Or, anyway, you're on top of that because I don't have a clue. Anyway, a couple of things. First of all, I've built several all-star units for people that have monitors in them, and I use a little cheap 2-inch speaker and a cheap little Chinese-made Class D amplifier. It's worked well for me. I've got 2 of them that I haven't had any problem whatsoever with, except a little cross-talk and noise. But others have had problems with them, and they're legitimate problems too. So I finally have perfected that, and the way I did it was I went to a digital amplifier. So there's a signal that digitizes it, and it comes out, and you're not picking up AM broadcast stations and all that. And I found some really good car speakers from Advanced Auto Parts, not to plug Advanced Auto Parts, but anyway, some good heavy-duty, heavy magnet 4-inch speakers that I cut a hole in the top of the box and mount them in there. They look good. They sound great. So if anybody that I build a unit for wants a better monitor, if you'll pay the shipping to send it to me and back, I'll build you a better monitor and put it in there. Let me reset. Okay, what I got going on is Sean has been kind enough to build this Georgia All-Star Hub for me. I was going to put it at the cabin, but I just can't because my internet up here is just too slow. So I'm going to put it down in Marietta. But the All-Star unit I have up here is rack-mounted, and it's right below the repeater I have. When I leave here this weekend, I'm taking the repeater and the All-Star unit out of the rack, back to Marietta to my workshop, and I'm going to modify the repeater so that it can be controlled by the All-Star node. Now, I still will have the ability and will still be on digital, on QSO America Digital for the nets and so forth. I can swap back and forth. But the reason for doing it with All-Star is we have a lot of local here in Georgia, over in Cleveland, Georgia, a guy over in Waleska, Georgia, and a few others who have expressed interest in actually using the repeater if it had All-Star connected to it. So I will be the only, we will have the only repeater in this part of the state that has All-Star hooked up to it. So I'll let you know how that works out. And I guess that's pretty much it. I don't want to monopolize the time, so let's see if Mr. Bill is, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Bill has had some health issues, so your thoughts or prayers need to be with him. WA4DDH, K4PU, are you there, Mr. Bill?
K4PU in the group, WA4DDH. Yeah, I'm here. I just didn't know whether I was going to be running to the bathroom or not. But good evening to all. I'm not real versed on all this. Dennis, I'm on here because you sent me the All-Star node, the share unit. And other than connecting my radios on it and talking, I'm not too much versed on all the hubs and connections and all the whistles and bells. But definitely a good, interesting subject to know because it's a great mode for all of us to be on. So over to you, N7D&D in the group, WA4DDH.
WA4DDH, N7D&D. Good evening, Bill. Good evening, Nat. Thanks, Sean and Dennis for doing this. I'm going to learn some new stuff. I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I've been wanting to put up the Supermod, and I just been a little slow at doing things the last 4 or 5 weeks, but we're getting there. But that would be good. I can see that that's great. I might want to bring up something else. I was fussing with Kanagal the other day, and we were playing with settings on the hotspots. That might be a good subject for a TechNet of changing colors, changing clocks, changing things on your hotspot so when you bring up your dashboard, it looks a little nicer. Maybe the screen on your hotspot does different things. There's a whole blog on the different things. So just maybe something that we can talk about down the Fridays from now on. Okay, so I'm going to pass it over to N4NT. It's all yours, N7 DND.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. A lot of good information on the net tonight. I'm kind of new to the All-Star thing and just learning, and so it's good to hear that. And I'm glad I'm recording it so I can kind of go back over and review some of it. Usually when the nets are going on, I'm somewhat multitasking with the YouTube and just kind of keeping an eye on that. So it'll be good to have that to go back over and learn some more about this. It's definitely interesting. I know I'm asking a lot of my internet connection, as a lot of you probably are. I've got the Sherry node going here. I've got an OpenSpot 3 and a laptop with Wires X, and then all the other stuff that goes on around the house. So it's a thousand wonders. But I do have a really good router. It's a Nighthawk router that I bought a few years ago. Might even look at upgrading that coming up someday soon. But it's got a lot of good punch to it. And another thing that I have done that I have noticed that seems to help a lot is I ran a hardwire into my shack, and I have a oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The thingamabob where you plug the hardwire of the internet into it, and then it lets you hook multiple others. Anyway, I got that in my shack, and I invested in a good one of those as well to make sure that nothing bottlenecks as it's going one direction or the other. So all that seems to help, and but I appreciate the good information, and I hope everybody can make the kids connection net tomorrow. Well, let's see. I'm supposed to pass it to. I think we're going to give Tony KD9JSX a few seconds, and then if he doesn't come in there, it'll be Al KD2PNR. This is N4NT.
N4NT.
N4NT, KD9JSX. I'm listening, and the only comment I got, I don't know if anybody's heard this before or not. It's been around for years, but you were talking about crystal radios, and Lucille Ball, you told a story one time on a Dick Davis show where she received Japanese side radio signals through new dental work, and there was all kinds of stuff on the internet, and dentists got together and decided that it was feasible, so it could radio through the teeth through dental work. I just thought it was a funny story to bring up, and you guys were talking crystal radio through, so I just thought I'd toss it in there. Anyway, I'm not going to be around. I'm almost to my destination for the second round, so I'll send it over to KD2P and KD9JSX.
Okay, Tony, good to hear you, and good evening to everybody else. KD2PNR here in now sunny, well, not sunny anymore, but at least finally cleared off and quit raining in sunny New Jersey, southern New Jersey. Anyway, nice topic, nice information going along, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I caught a couple of thoughts that things Sean said that didn't quite register here. I can understand putting multiple nodes on your same network, but unless I'm missing something, or unless you're bringing up multiple instances of the All-Star software in one Pi, I don't think that's what you're doing. I think you're using one Sherry node and one Pi together, and that's what you call a node. They're going to have different IP addresses. They will just be assigned by your router, typically. Dynamic host control will take care of that for you. I'm not sure where they would need separate port numbers, maybe, except for if you're going to get to them from the outside world. And then, yes, you will absolutely need different port numbers so that you can forward the port number to the proper box. At least that's what I'm thinking. Haven't done it yet. May do it one of these days. I've thought about doing that, but so far I have not. And as far as internet and all that stuff around your house, you're probably not likely to overrun too much of this stuff. I run 6 hotspots, the All-Star node, a couple different computers, and all, of course, all the usual tablets, phones, etc., all running, throughout the house. So nothing really strains any of that too much. So, and the Nighthawk is a great router. Got one of those myself. I like it a lot. I think that's all for this round for the moment. But anyway, just curious. And Dennis, I may very well take you up on that offer to rebuild this, or I could do it myself if it's not too challenging. We can talk about that at some point. But that's an interesting thought, digital amplifier. I suppose there could be some digital signal processing in the way, too. That'd be kind of cool. I thought about doing that, actually, with my our local repeater comes through my 400, and I hear the PL tone really clearly. I don't know if it's a great radio or my great audio behind it, but I've thought about putting in a filter for that, and one way to do it is with some DSP going on. Anyhow, and one other thing, Dennis, let me reset this. Our club has tried to put an all-star node behind the new Yaesu repeaters, the DX2s or DR2s, whatever they call them, and they worked for 6 months on it, building custom electronics, different things, trying to get the PL tone to work, and they finally ended up just giving up. What they've done is they put the all-star back behind an older controller, a 7330, I forget who makes it, but apparently it's a very common one, some kind of secret code to program it. But nonetheless, they could not make the All-Star node run the repeater properly. There were issues with signaling and with PL tones and all kinds of other things. So unless you know somebody who's done it and it works for sure, I know some people who've tried very, very hard to make it work and have given up. So that's just a little bit of a warning there. So with that, I'll send it back up to Sean, and he can carry on with this really great evening show. W7AZC, to get it, KD2PNR.
Thank you, Al. And before I make my comments and answer some questions, is there any additional check-ins that would like to join us? Please come now. Alright, nothing heard. So, to Al's question on why they need to be on different servers, different ports, and why you gotta tell each node about the other one. Remember, this is a phone system, and it looks at that IP address that's the first part and says, okay, that's where this guy's coming from. And if you put two on the same thing, it's like having an additional line, but the phone company don't know about it, so it gets a busy signal. So you have to tell it where to find it. So that's kind of why you have to go in. I forgot about that earlier today. I was able to get things to connect to the 422 there, but I couldn't connect to it, and it couldn't connect to us. And I was kind of banging my head, and then I realized, oh yeah, I have to tell it where to go. That's the reasoning that you got to put all that information. It's basically a phone system is what All-Star is. I mean, you go through the settings, and you get deep enough in there, there's settings to block telemarketers and spam calls and this and that. A lot of stuff that we don't need. But that's the reason behind that. All right, let's start the second round. I do see we have another station in there, so let me try it one more time. Any additional check-ins?
KK6QMS in Valley, California.
Alright, KK6 QMS, Cliff in Morongo Valley. Good to hear you. And would you like to make a comment before we start our second round?
No, just saw you guys on NetLogger and thought I'd stop by and see what was going on. So just listening.
Well, welcome to the net. We do 2 rounds, so we're getting ready to start the second round. We'll have you on the list, and we'll close off with you unless we get another check-in. Any additional check-ins, please come now.
N4NT.
All right, nothing heard. So, Mr. K4BU, start us off.
W7ACC and Teapot's net. This is K4BU. Yeah, switching gears here. I got real interested in the Raspberry Pi because I'm using it for several things. Not only use it for All-Star and for DMR and for C4FM, but I also use it to run Whisper and a few other things. So I decided I needed to, even though I kind of went kicking and screaming into the computer age and was asleep behind the door when computers came out, I decided it was time to learn something about it. So I'm taking a course in Linux from the Linux Institute. It's a very interesting course. It's a free course, 10 weeks long, self-paced, so you can start it when you want to, you can end it when you want to, but the course itself is programmed to last 10 weeks. And it's all about how to program in Linux. I'm in week number 4 now and really enjoying this. I had no idea how pervasive Linux was. It's just in just about everything you do. And yeah, Al, I know actually a couple of people that have done this successfully with the DR2. One guy who swears that it's better audio than digital audio, and he's using it to control his DR2. And there was another one that I haven't actually spoken to, but found him on the internet that's built one down in Florida that he says works just fine. So I'll let you know how it turns out. Hopefully they're not just whistling Dixie here, and I'll make the modifications that they have suggested and see how it goes. And I will report back to you. And that's it for me, except to say 73 to everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Looks like we're going to have to buckle down with this COVID thing for some more time. And everybody take it easy and be safe. And with that, I'll say 73. Good to talk to all of you. And Bill, WA4DDH, you take care of yourself, too. It's your turn, sir.
Oh, very good there, Dennis. I don't have much to add. And it's definitely a fun mode to get on. I've really been enjoying this All-Star mode. So with that, we'll say 7-3s. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll catch everybody down the old log, as they say. N7D&D to take it. WA4DDH. See y'all later.
Thank you, WA4DDH and 7D&D. I think I'm going to go look at that Linux training you're looking at, Dennis. I can learn something. I love these Pis, and I love playing in them. I just don't know enough about Linux to do that. So I am going to go do some learning. How cool. Like I say, I might go down the same road I am, playing with the Pi and changing things around, so that might help out to learn that. So I want to say 7-3s to everybody tonight, and it's 41 degrees here in Utah, and it's raining, and if it gets much colder, it'll be that S word, but that's the way it is. So I'll say 7-3s to everybody. Good night, and you all take care. And I'll pass it over to N4NT and 7D&D.
That's N4NT. I just want to say 7-3 to everybody, and hope everybody has a good weekend. I've got to work all weekend, but that's okay. I'll get Monday and Tuesday off, so that'll be my weekend, I guess. But we're just waiting on my wife to get home from the store, and we're going to get the little kiddos out here in a few minutes, and we're going to go ahead and put our Christmas tree up a little earlier than what we normally do. We usually wait till Thanksgiving, but just the way 2020's been and everything going on, it's I don't know. I could use I think we all could in my household, and maybe a few others could use Christmas around the house just a little bit longer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to at least get the inside decorations up and work on that tonight, and bake some cookies and just have a good old time. So hope everybody has a good evening, and I'll say 7-3 and turn it over to KD9JSX. This is N4NT.
Go ahead, take it out. Tony's probably done for the day, so KD2PNR, this is W7AZC.
Okay, I was just about to grab it. You just beat me by a half a second. But anyway, good to hear from everybody. And yeah, Dennis, I'll look forward to hearing how that works out. I hope it works. It sure seems like it ought to. I've read lots of manuals and looked at control lines and things, but the word I got was that the control lines on the DR2 don't actually work the way Yaesu documents them, and they don't work the way you think they would, and stuff like that. But if somebody's done it, you know, the proof's in the pudding. So I'll be glad to hear that it does work, and I would, then I'll go to work on our local one here and see if we can get that funny other controller out of the way. Anyway, that's all I got. I hope everyone has a great night. It's good to hear everybody here. As always, very interesting stuff. I go along with Gary out there too. I think some of the control stuff for the Pi Stars may be of interest to a pretty good group. It's not all-star, but it certainly is ham radio, and it's a lot of us do it. In fact, I think all of us do it. I'm pretty sure I know everybody has done some of that. So, you know, we could learn something, might find things new. Good luck with your Linux courses. I've only been doing Linux since 1985, so I'm slowly coming up to speed. Anyway, have fun, and I'm going to send it off to our new guy tonight. It's good to have a newcomer. So, Cliff, it's coming your way. KD6 QMS, KK6, sorry, QMS. This is KD2 PNR, 73 all.
Hi, what's up? KK6 QMS, name is Clifford, Morongo Valley. I'm at about 2,500 feet, kind of in between Palm Springs area, Joshua Tree National Park, about 2 hours east of Los Angeles. Moved out here in July, living in an RV, and not been able to get my ISP to put their equipment in, so I can't do any port forwarding and stuff, so it's kind of hampered being able to use my node when I'm not home, but anyway, it's running a Raspberry Pi, the stock build, and what else? Yeah, weather's warmed up a bit. We had rain, actually, and some colder weather this past weekend, which was great. Didn't have any monsoons out here in the desert this year, unfortunately. So the rain was good, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks for running the net. KK6 QMS.
Thank you, Clifford, for joining us, and we appreciate participation. Any additional check-ins before we close out the net? Please come now. All right, nothing heard. And so, with that, don't forget, you always check out Teapot's Facebook page. If you're not a member on that page, you Easiest way to get there is teapotsnet.com. teapotsnet.com, all one word. And then Friends Amateur Radio Group, you can check them out at farg.club. Let's see, don't forget the Easy to Hear Net tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. That is on the QSO America on the Fusion side. We are not cross-linked to the Fusion side, so please check them out. The best place to go is to the FCS servers. That would be FCS 00454. And also, don't forget the Kids Connection Net tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will be on QSO America Wires X. So with that, I want to say 73, thank you all for participating. Have a great night, and we will catch you next Friday. This is W7AZC, returning the room back to normal amateur radio use at 0141 UTC. 7 3s, everyone.
N4NT